Near is fine. Near's fine, yeah. Hey, everybody. Near, I think works, yeah. Hey, guys. So I am just no. Oh, that's fine. You're fine. Well, actually, yeah, you're good. Probably right. You did everything. Yeah, we're good. Come on on if you want to come on in. Okay, bye. Hey, everybody. I was just talking to one of my neighbors. How are you all doing? So, what time were the Tonys over? The Tonys were going on tonight, right? I meant to go live earlier, but I did the best I could. I just sent out a press release. Tomorrow, we're going to have a press conference here in Harvey at 6 p.m. before it's Harvey City Hall before the city council meeting, and we're going to address the horrible, untrue allegations of child abuse and sexual crime that the mayor made against me, as well as the overall climate of bullying and harassment that we see coming out of Harvey politicians, coming from a lot of politicians. So, and focusing mostly on the Southland because that's where we're located. So, the south suburbs of Chicago and the south side of Chicago. So yeah, we just want to make clear if anyone who can show up or at least share the link or share the information, like, this is not cool. It's not cool. We need to fight against this bullying. Hey, Succeeding too. Hey. We need to send a message that this is not okay. It doesn't matter if it's me as a gay man or someone else, Colby as a woman, our Latino community, the elderly. We see a lot of elder abuse from these politicians. No one should be bullied. No one. However, what is the psychology of bullies? They don't just go away because you want them to go away. Usually, if you're oh, hey, Burgundy. Oh, thanks for the rainbow for Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. Woohoo. But yeah, bullies don't go away just because you want them to go away. We have to be united. We have to speak out together. We can't be just one person in this town and one person in that town and da 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 da. No, we have to come together as a region, as the Southland, with our allies who are all over the country and the world, and we have to speak out. For example, since Burgundy's on listening, which you're welcome to come on, Burgundy, if you want. Anyone who wants to come on tonight. How Burgundy was treated last year when she was just trying to cover what's happening in her hometown, right? That's not right. Unfortunately, a lot of folks jumped on the bandwagon and started going after her and believing lies and gossip and made her the enemy when she was not the enemy. And that's the opposite of what we want, right? We want people sticking together who are pushing for honesty and openness in government and transparency. And it's not enough to do that. You have to support other people when they're being bullied, even if they're not in your town or your area. You need to be willing to support and speak up for those that are getting bullied, because it might not be you today, but I guarantee you they'll come for you at some point, and your silence will not protect you. Your silence will not protect you. You're welcome, Burgundy. People definitely have to stick together. Yes, exactly. Succeeding. Yep. Because the crazy thing is, I'll remind you, oh, hold on. We should all be safe. We should all be able to be safe and have our own opinions. Exactly. If you're not hurting someone, you're not sharing, like Christopher Clark did, things that are false, that endanger people, like his lies endanger my life. You're just sharing your opinion. Like you should not be harassed and bullied. Now, certainly people can disagree with you. That's fine. But it's another thing if people start doxing and they start sending people to drive by your home and stalking you and doing other things that are very harmful. That is not cool. So, hey, Crook County. Hey, Crook. You're mute. Oh, I shouldn't be mute. You should be able to hear me. You guys can hear me, right? We have to be careful who we align ourselves with. That's something my mom always told me. That's true too. Yes, right? Your friends are not always who you think they are. Okay, so you can hear. So, yeah, so Crook, it must be on your end. But thank you. He's my superstar moderator and such a great helper. I appreciate Crook. Okay, you can hear. So understand how we won 2 terms. Yeah. Well, I can tell you, speaking of Chris Clark and Harvey, so the first term he won because myself and a lot of people supported Chris because we had 16 years of Eric Kellogg, who is one of the worst, most corrupt mayors in Illinois history, and he took over for Harvey from Mayor Graves, Graves had his mafia connections, et cetera, but he did do a pretty good job as mayor as far as bringing businesses and residents to Harvey. So 16 years Kellogg was mayor and he ran Harvey into the ground. And he was very good to you if you were a few of just, in his little group of friends and family members. But outside of that, he didn't do anything for Harvey. So people were ready for something different. And Chris Clark posed as a reformer, someone who wanted to bring change. Unfortunately, after his first term, a lot of people started to see that he wasn't fulfilling his promises. And then I still supported him when he ran for his second term, but I wasn't very happy with him, but I didn't really support McCaskill either. But now for sure, I'm like, oh no. After he was reelected in 2023, his true colors came out and he just got extra nasty. So definitely now I never would support him. Yes. Hey, Wyoming. How are you? Oh, it's so great to see everybody. People are really quiet about that lady that was hired to fight corruption that quit after 3 months. Oh, yes. I remember what you're talking about succeeding to. Are you talking about the lady in the police department? Hello, folks. Hello, Ryan. Thank you. Yes. No, Crook, you're awesome. Seriously. Because I know you got a lot going on, but you still make time to help. Oh, yes, and succeeding too. Yes. So the McCaskells, the reason why I don't support them is because unfortunately there's a lot of nepotism, and I just feel like it's just a different shade of corruption. So the husband Anthony, he is okay. Get ready for this. You ready? I should type this out because you're not going to believe everything he does. So Anthony. And please feel free to research these people if you want and see for yourself that I'm not making this up. So Anthony McCaskill is treasurer for Dixmoor, which is a higher position. Okay, that's the village next door to us. He is president, of Harvey Library Board. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but what else? Anyway, so his wife, let's see. I did not like the way I saw a recent meeting. Randy seems arrogant. Right, the one that I shared, the library board meeting. He was yelling at Shawana Morgan and Chappelle Hooks. Really, no different than Mayor Clark. Just very, very. It was inappropriate. They were just asking questions about the money. And then didn't he contract his wife at large? Correct. So then I'll give you a write-up on Keisha. I hope I'm spelling her name right. So Keisha McCaskill is I'll say Anthony's wife. Does someone want to volunteer to make, like, I feel like we need like a diagram that shows how everyone's like married and connected, and like this person works in this town and this person works in this town and they're like cousins and like there's a lot of overlapping connections. Anthony's wife. She also serves as Harvey Parks director, which is, I believe, a full-time job. She's also Cook County. She was appointed Cook County. Yes, thank you, Succeed. Yes, an organization chart, right? Because we saw that any of you that followed Tiffany and the township in Dalton used to, people would be like, oh wait, Keith Price, and we're like, well, we know Keith Price. We can tell you all about him because he has been on so many Harvey boards, and so it's interesting, those connections. So Keisha, Anthony's wife, Harvey Parks director, Cook County commissioner, Harvey library consultant. I don't know if that's considered full-time, but she makes money doing that. Okay. Then, oh, sorry, let me see. An org chart. Yes, we need that. And succeeding to, yes, I did not forget that lady, but I'm glad you brought that up. The lady that was fired or that left Harvey Police, who was supposed to investigate corruption, because that was horrible. These people have 10 jobs. They do. A chain of command board. Then we have hi, Grace. I've been working on that organizational chart. This is good. Thank you. Good. Could you make it shareable? Like, could you something that you could share with us? Because that would be really great and very helpful. Oh, her name was Karine. I'm gonna make a note of that. So fired police. She was some sort of investigator. So she was fired. I think she was fired. She's a female. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll make a note about that. But yeah, Grace, if you could do that, because I tried, and I'm like, this is where we need help. I'm like, I have too much to do. Happy Sunday. Oh, she quit. Oh, okay. So the police investigator, she was female who quit. Then we have Amari and I think Aaron. So they're two of the McCaskill's children, Amari and Aaron McCaskill. They both serve as trustees for the Harvey Library and the Parks boards. So they're in elected positions on two boards. I'm not even sure if that's legal, but that's the kind of stuff that you see in Harvey. So if you put them all together, you have Anthony, who's the president of the Harvey Library. He's also in a higher position as the treasurer of Dixmoor, which is the village next to Harvey. His wife is Cook County Commissioner. She's paid for that. She's also paid to be executive director of the Harvey Park District. She's also paid as a consultant for the Harvey Public Library. And their children, Amari and Aaron, both serve on the boards for the library and the parks. So you can see how it's concerning, right? And remember, none of this is personal. I don't share lies or, sling mud like Clark and some people try to do. Like, this is just explaining what positions they're in. And even if they were angels at heart, still, there's just so much nepotism as a part of that, and like you really shouldn't have family members as direct supervisors over other family members. So I think it's just problematic. They were withholding information from her investigation. You know more. Is that for me, Grace? You're saying I know more? I can give you all the information, but I just need someone who's really good at organizing it and putting it in a visual. That's what I need help with. It was the incident at the high school and the threat of the police officer, and she said it was so much corruption. I believe it. Right. He doesn't even wait for their vote. It's like they say it before their actual vote comes out. Oh, did you mean at the library board succeeded? There was talk of ghost payroll at the library too, possibly. Yes, I heard that as well. Yeah. And it's interesting. Do you notice the commonality for all these boards? I don't care if it's, like I said, if it's Flint, Michigan, or Harvey, or Dalton, or whatever. The moment that someone starts to ask for clear information, receipts, invoices about the money, where the money's going, that's when the voices start to rise, and people will start insulting. They'll try to change the subject. Like they'll literally do anything but share the details of where public money is going. It's just an interesting pattern I've noticed. That's me. I can definitely do that. I'm great with organizer. Okay. Oh yes, I would love that, Grace. Seriously. Like I said, I started, but I was like, oh Lord, I don't have time for this. This is like too much stuff going on. So yeah, I hope that's like a little bit about the McCaskells. I hope that helps. Um, Let me look at my list to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay. So it's like I think the taxpayer dollars are for their personal use only. Exactly. Yes. Does anybody know if the Tony Awards are still going on? I was just curious. I was just curious. I mean, I'm guessing they're over by now, but I was just wondering. Oh, citizen sent me a message. Gunfire heard during police vehicle pursuit. Oh, it's in Humboldt Park. That's weird. I only rarely get citizen alerts. It's so funny. It's usually like not close. All right, I'm trying to pull up here. Ooh, no, not that. Oh my gosh, you guys! I videoed a fashion show yesterday, which was great. Um, some one other thing when I was driving around Harvey, I haven't even had time to share it. That's how crazy it's been. Oh man, why didn't it upload? That's right. You know what? I know where to go to download it. I'll have to bring up my Facebook, which is probably going to slow my computer way down. But yeah, did anyone watch the Tony Awards? Come on, computer. Aha. Yes, I want to download. Ah, no. Stop. Okay, good. I downloaded that. So, in case you guys didn't know, Cold Beat was released, so that's good. We're happy about that. But yeah, the continued harassment is just crazy. So that's a big theme of tomorrow. Um, and then we had one of our older women get online and start to bully and harass Colby and tell lies about her. So we're going to expose that too. We're going to expose that too because that is not acceptable. Okay, I think I got them all. Sorry, let me just double check here. Okay, good. All right, now I'm going to close Facebook because otherwise it will slow this computer down way too much. A win for Steppenwolf in the best play category. Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm not watching it at all, but I know it is the Pride Month. The gays usually love to watch that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Is that the lady that uses the same recycled sentences as Tiffany, like how so many love Clark? Yeah. I think that's who you're talking about. Yeah. Hey, Shay. That's right. I always forget your proper name because you just introduced yourself as Shay. But Shirlene, is that your full name? Hello. So let's start off with exposing this, okay? I love to expose people that are doing things that they should not do, okay? Let me pull. Hold on. And I'll pull this up. And will that be peeps in case they want to come on? Copy link. I wonder how Conscious is doing. I haven't. Well, no, I did listen to one of her videos, but I also reached out to the young lady. We had an 11-year-old who was shot. I think the bullet grazed her. So I think she's home now. I have reached out to the mom, hoping maybe she would come on and share with us, but we'll see. Okay. But yeah, what are you guys doing for Pride Month? Anything exciting? Let me go to share. She does a Clark infomercial. Yeah, that's probably Delaney, I bet you. Yes, that's my email exactly. I'm glad I was going to ask you about her. Oh, Delaney. Oh, yes. It's always the ones, I love the expression, those in glass houses ought not throw stones. I love that expression because isn't it always the people that are the worst that accuse other people of the worst things that are not true? Oh, it's crazy, you guys. Crazy. Okay. Now I know I might have to zoom in a little bit. Let me see how you. Okay, so that's probably a little small, right? Let me try to zoom in. So this was from. Let me see. Did that get any bigger? Okay, it got a little bigger. Succeeding two says 100%. So guess what group this was in? The famous Dalton Politics. Of course, right? What other group? What other group is so supported by Nikita and Napoleon, and I just say the moderators are connected to the Democratic machine establishment, and it encouraged a real toxic cesspool of people just being so angry towards Tiffany and everybody. And again, not that I'm not excusing anything wrong that Tiffany did, but it's just a very unhealthy group, and people will dox people there. And so I'm not even a part of it anymore because they've blocked me. I think this is the second or third time. So they don't seem to like Napoleon too much. Oh, okay. You never know. So anyway, Cookie Ross says, I know people want to believe in this person, wolf in sheep clothing. She's supposed to belong to a sorority, which I thought is supposed to help your community, not tear it down. I'm just saying. Okay. And many don't trust Napoleon. I don't trust Napoleon because he's been our state senator for years and is always MIA when we ask for help in Harvey. Plus, one of his mentors is Eric Kellogg, one of the worst mayors in Illinois history. Again, nothing personal against anyone. This is just the facts. So let's go on to see. Okay, wait, I want to go on to the bigger post here. Whoop. Okay, so then she says, can you guys see the whole thing? Let me see. Proof that Alderwoman Colby Chapman is a liar and always claiming to be a victim. Sad that wait, hold on. I have to zoom in a little bit more for my own eyes. Sad that she will do anything for that seat. Being arrested isn't retaliation. Colby alleges she was saving the house of 60 East 155th Street, agenda item. As you can see, the address of the home she was allegedly saving is the resident of Miss Allen. Maybe she meant residence of Miss Allen, who, by the way, is still cuddled in her home today, 15507 Myrtle. I know some of you won't get it. Pay attention to the dates. Freddie Mac has owned 60 East 155th since 2021. My people start fact-checking before falling for the okie dokie. It's not a nice look. I rest my case. Hey, Gardis, how are you? Hey, welcome. Napoleon is the Crook County list. Oh, yeah, I don't trust you. I don't. And again, it's nothing personal. I always hope people prove me wrong. When you look at the facts and you say, hey, it's just true. Like Napoleon just hasn't responded. He hasn't really helped for years when we've been saying, please intervene, stop the corruption. It's just the facts. I hope that he changes, but as a matter of fact, as a reminder, several towns passed term limits, and Napoleon, Harris, what's his name? Thaddeus Jones, Will Davis, who's our state rep, and the Speaker of the House, Chris Welch, they all worked together. And at first it didn't pass. So they tried twice, and they passed a bill at the state level to override certain sorts of term limits that a lot of towns had passed. And why would you do that? Why would you do that when people specifically in their towns were so frustrated and they voted in term limits? So that's what I mean when I say not helping. That's not only not helping, that's actively hurting people who are trying to fight corruption. So that's the kind of stuff that Napoleon and others have done that it's a fact, and it's not okay. It's not okay. And they did it on purpose. They tried twice. The first time, to the credit of some of the Democrats, which I do not trust the Democratic machine in Illinois, even though, yes, I'm a registered Democrat, but to their credit, the first time it didn't pass. I think some people, they were smart enough. So my guess is they must have whipped up enough votes. I think Napoleon's still one of the whips, but and then the Speaker of the House, who, it doesn't matter if Mike Madigan goes to jail forever. This new guy, Chris Welch from the West Suburbs, he is just like Mike Madigan. And I never hear the news talking about him and how corrupt he is. So it's not good. This person can't compose a professional opinion. She can't even spell the word. I said last year I didn't trust him. I told people last year he was going to run for supervisor. Right, exactly. How are you and your family? Aw, hello, doing good. Glad to have you all. So and then I want to see, wait, does something show the documents? Okay, so this one shows a little bit. Ooh. Can I zoom in? Oh, this shows the agenda item from that meeting. Okay, so this is the meeting April 28th when Colby was arrested and when Clark makes the horrible comments about me. So a resolution approving a redevelopment agreement for Blue Crest Estates, LLC. And that company is based in Orland, I believe. Okay, so this is part of a pattern where Clark and his allies are voting to basically give away public property that we own, the city owns. Okay, so we own it, the taxpayers. They're the stewards. They don't own it. We do, the taxpayers, and they're basically giving it away, or selling it for very cheap to out-of-towners. So it approves a redevelopment agreement between City of Harvey and Blue Crest Estates for the purpose of rehabilitating blighted property located at 60 East 155th. So just to clarify, let's go over. I wasn't going to go over it. I'm sorry. I always get on here and end up talking more than I plan. But I'm going to go over that. Plus, Clark and Jones are in bed, so to speak, since he's FOIA. Yeah, exactly. They've worked together. Please like and subscribe. Let's help the algorithm. Yes, thank you. And thank you to those of you who have donated some so far. I really do appreciate that. And I don't even have my information set up yet to even get the money to my account. But just remind me, because I want to be, I don't want to be like, a scammer. I want to show you guys where that money's going. So he gave away that property to Metro, right? Trying to think, did Clark give away? There is shady stuff that's gone on with Metro. I don't know about if they give any houses. Hey Foxy. Hey. But just so you have an idea, let me pull it up. So we're gonna do let me see. And I'm going to teach you guys because we need your help. Oh, the one on Halstead. Yes. Yes, you're right. Yes, exactly. I don't think it wasn't city owned. So Summit Laboratories did own it. I don't think it was city owned. The problem is that that's very good, Succeeding, that you remember that. I did share about that. The problem is that the city voted to rezone it. They voted to rezone the property for Metra, and someone did an expose on that, and they wasted like millions of dollars on that property. We still don't know why or exactly what work is done and what work remains, but that is like prime, right off the expressway. That's prime real estate for something that generates tax money. Instead, Clark and his buddies just gave it away to Metra. Like, if it were me, don't change the zoning for them. They shouldn't have bought it without the right zoning. If I tried to buy a property and it wasn't zoned properly, you know what the city of Harvey would do? They'd give me a big middle finger and they'd say, "Too bad, sucks to be you. We're not going to approve the zoning change. You should have noticed that before you bought it." So then, why does Metra, which runs our commuter rail, they don't pay any taxes? Why should they be given a special deal? That property is a prime commercial large property. Why should they get the zoning change? So that's what I'm saying. There's so much shady stuff that goes on. Happy Sunday. That's so strange with Metra. I think you exposed it. Yes, yeah. So I just wanna I'm gonna show you guys, walk you through how to do your own investigation with property in Cook County. Okay. So as you know, I am a real estate broker. I'm with Keller Williams right now. I've taught French as well. I've taught English. I've done a lot of things. But can you see? Okay, now you should be able to see. I don't even live in Illinois, and I cruise through when I'm going to Homewood. I stay informed. I used to live in the township. Oh, thank you, Succeeding. No, hey, I appreciate it. People from all over are helping us in Harvey, and we need it. We need every bit of help possible we can get. So the first thing you can do, I'll show you, there's a few different places you can look when you want to look up property information, but let's start with Cook County. We do a search for Cook County GIS, okay? And you're welcome to follow along, and or you can do your own as we do this. Oops, somebody texted me. Okay, got it. Got it. Um, so here we have it gives you a lot of information. So let's start with that address, right? 60 East 155th Street, and let's see where it brings us. Okay. Oh, this is the weird thing. I think we know pins. So a pin, it's also called a property identification number, and each property is given one of those. Saw the Tiffany sign was down at the cemeteries up last week and down by Friday. Yeah, they're replacing all the Tiffany signs with Napoleon signs, I guess. The interesting thing, so this is when Colby was arrested because she was speaking up for this resident who says that well, her children are especially speaking up for her. She's elderly, but they're basically saying that the city of Harvey was bullying her out of this property. So she said her on her pin, there's two houses sit there, but they both belong to her. One she lives in, and I think one's empty. But it doesn't matter. Like they're both hers, right? So they're trying to fight it, and Colby was trying to stand up for them to say, well, why did you vote to give it to this Blue Ridge or whatever, this company based in Orland? And how did the city even acquire it if that was hers? So she was just asking that question, and that's how she ended up being arrested, because the mayor did not want that issue to even be brought up at all. So this is where it gets interesting. Why is, if you put in 60 East 155th, why does this show up? By the way, if we zoom out, this plot of land right now, this pin, okay, it's right off 159th and Dixie Highway. This is originally, they both give you parcels where the Amazon's located. So it's very, very strange. Is this a clerical error? Is someone trying to hide something? I don't know. Very suspicious. Now, I think at least one of them might give us the correct. So this is where this lady's house is, okay? Oop, come on. It should give me information somewhere. Okay. Well, anyway, let's see, clerk property records search. Let's go there. Okay, and I'm going to get to your question. Sorry, guys, for my computer being so slow. And you know what? Maybe I don't even need that up for right now. Let's just stick with this one. This is, or the house in question. This is the house where Ms. Allen Hopefully you can hear me now. Okay. I think I'm back. I don't know what happened. That was really weird. Okay, so yeah, just let me know if you guys can hear me. Thank you, Crook. Okay, good. So I'm back. I don't know what happened. And so if you go, so this site, the GIS, the Cook Viewer will I clicked on the link, and you can go to the recordings under the Cook County Clerk's office, okay? And you see one of the documents, one of the deeds, okay? So it's about let's see. Oh, I think it's like a release from a loan, Countrywide Home Loans, and it lists Miss Allen, and it has that address. So all that stuff is public info, okay? It's nothing secret. Um Sorry, I'm pulling it up again, and it's taken forever and a day. So if we look up the other one, okay? So this is the house in question. We can see that, let me see. Okay, in 2019, it went ownership went from Mortgage Electronic Registration Systems Inc. to Nation Star Mortgage and Mr. Cooper. Then you can see also in 2019, it was in foreclosure apparently. And then it was listing Randall Ehart, deceased, Jennifer Louise Holsworth, Randall Mariani. I don't know who those people are. Then in 2020, it went from Intercounty Judicial Sales Corporation to Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation. I think that's Freddie Mac. Then in 2024, there was a special warranty deed. The property went from the Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation to the City of Harvey. So as you can see, it's a little confusing, right? Like what happened with these properties, when, how. So at the very least, we need some clarity here, okay? So I just wanted to kind of show you a little bit of that. And what did you say? Oh, you guys are asking, is it a duplex? No, no, I don't think it's a duplex. It's two, like one house sits on 155th and one sits on Myrtle. Looks like a duplex. Yes. Okay, good. So anyway, that's that. I just wanted to throw some context. All right. Let me close that. Get rid of that. Let's go back to where we left off. Okay. So there was a discussion. Oops. Wait. Did I get the right thing? Trying to get it in the right order. Hold on one second. Zoom it in correctly. The Freddie Mac letter that they posted says 2021. Right. Oh yeah. And what was interesting, if you look at the deeds, is that supposedly I think that was done in 2021 or something, but it wasn't recorded until 2024. Why did they wait 3 years to record it? See, that's all Colby was doing, and I totally support 110%. The family still wants answers. We're not giving up on that, but she was just saying this isn't right. We need to stop. At the very least, table it, right? Like, let's get more information. Don't just give away what could potentially someone else's property for $2,000 to an out of town company. So. So then, Miss Cookie Ross, we had some discussions on her profile. So then Amanda said, very interesting. The only person who supposedly had this letter, the Freddie Mac letter, in their possession was the mayor when he dangled it in our face during mayoral comments at the last city council meeting on May 12th. How could a regular person get a hold of a letter from a federal agency like Freddie Mac? My guess is you're either another elected official or city worker. Either way, you are a disgrace. Typical people. And then Cookie Ross responds, typical people who don't want the facts. Truth in your face and you still blind. It's called FOIA. Some of us do our research before jumping to conclusions. Family members sick and tired of the foolery. Guess what? How about you do a homework assignment? Search the Cook County Assessor's Office and search both addresses. Free public access. Truth is there too. I think she meant TOO. It's sad that our people are like the Israelites in Moses' day. Didn't want the truth, wanted to just complain. And then Amanda says, your definition of FOIA is someone texting you pictures of documents to make this post. My definition of FOIA is a little different, but you have a good night. So she was trying to tell her, hey, something's not right there. And then, oh, sorry. Exactly. I said the same thing. Something fishy. Yeah. They was showing the old letters. What about the letters of the property now? I want to look into that. That's suspect. Recorded years later, just like Kamal and Tiffany House transaction. Right. So, like, at the very least, don't sell the property if we're not sure, if there's a doubt. What difference is it going to make if you wait a little bit? Like, wouldn't you rather do the right thing? So it's very suspect that they were pushing that, right? So then the conversation with Cookie continues. I'm just saying, fact check, because my family raised me to think for myself. Don't click up with people who will to stand with someone who does wrong. Oh, did Vivian say? Okay, I missed. Maybe I didn't miss Vivian's comment there, but Amanda agreed with Vivian. Exactly. A typed up letter that's not City of Harvey letterhead. Try again. Word on the curb is Cookie is an elected official. They used this profile to pull the same shenanigans in 2017, 2018. And yes, I can tell you that Delaney Smith used this Cookie Ross profile when Clark first ran in 2018, 2019. What do any of this have to do with the truth about your friend? Let's stay focused and stay woke. Interesting. So you're a public official. We know this is your profile because we've seen you use it before, but you don't want to talk about the fact that you won't talk about anything openly and honestly, but you want to throw accusations online under a profile you think is anonymous. Okay. But you didn't refute what I said, did you? Amanda said. Again, have a good night. She's not wrong, right? She didn't refute it. She just said, like, basically, like, oh, don't pay attention to that. Also, I have to say, if you listen to the Harvey videos, Delaney, when she speaks a lot, she'll say the okey doke and stuff. This is one of her expressions. So yeah, that was really shady and inappropriate for an alderwoman to act that way. So that's that. If you guys want to look into that, do your thing. Please do, please do, please do. Then I wanted to show you guys, I made a shortened clip of the comments from that Chris Clark made about me. I think I went over them last time too, but that's all right. I'll share them one more time. And then again, we're having a press conference tomorrow at 6 to not only support me and all the LGBT people who get a lot of flack just for existing, but for all the people that are getting bullied in Harvey and in the Southland. The only way that they'll stop is if we speak out together and say, no, we're not going to take it anymore. We're going to sue. We're going to protest. We're going to run for office. We're going to do and everything we can. Oops, sorry, I clicked on the wrong video. Where is that video? Ah, here we go. Okay. But I wanted to shorten it, so that it was easy to see and everything. Oops, sorry, I missed some comments. Thanks, Wyoming gal. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just like Jed says, the comptroller was stealing the money to Harvey, but the comptroller was taking some of the money to pay off the money owed by the city. Oh, right, exactly. And I thought it was a little confusing because we don't want to confuse the state comptroller with the city of Harvey comptroller. So yeah, Jed said the other day when Colby was arrested for some reason, and it just seemed out of left field. Like, what? We're not talking about that. That the state comptroller was stealing money. The state comptroller is not stealing money, Jed. The state comptroller, if anything, they might be garnishing some of the money, but that's because the Mayor Kellogg and then now Mayor Clark didn't pay money they were supposed to pay. So I don't think that the state comptroller is doing anything wrong. I have to take care of some stuff. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, thanks, Wyoming. The comptroller has a legal lien on Harvey related to a major lawsuit. Ah, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know the details, but I don't think that they're doing it's Susana Mendoza is her name, and Jed brought up her name, but I don't think she's doing anything wrong. I wish they were more aggressive in making Harvey and these other municipalities pay, but or be transparent with their money, but that's another story. Okay, so, and then I shared this just today. Clark threatens my life, falsely alleging child abuse to avoid showing receipts. And then someone, I think he was well-meaning, but he shared on Facebook, and I was like, oh, don't you understand? And he was like, well, what do you mean? How did he threaten your life? You can't just accuse someone of abusing children, first of all, in general, but you're a mayor. You're doing this on video during a city council meeting from the dais, okay? There are crazy people out there who will try to kill me, try to hurt me, try to do other things to me, because even though it's a baseless accusation, some people, they hear that and they're just like, that's horrible. He would hurt a child. Oh, who is that? Let me know. I'm gonna, get my gun. I'm gonna get my buddies. I'm gonna do. You cannot do that. That puts my life in danger, Mayor Clark, and he knows this. This is why we have to stand against this. And I'm looking for a defamation lawyer to sue, but we have to speak out and shame him. Shame him on every media channel possible. I said, even with my alderwoman Colby, okay, she's been arrested, 4 times now, but Clark has never accused her or anyone else that I am aware publicly of committing a sexual crime. That's very serious. You can't just throw those allegations around, oh, this child said you did this inappropriately and da 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 and sexually. You cannot do that. There are crazy people out there, and they're gonna try to drive by my house, try to hurt me, try to kill me, try to ruin my career, because they may just believe what you're saying, and you're a public official and you're a lawyer. Ooh, I think at least that's probably the only thing that I feel like Clark has not done about Colby. He hasn't accused her of a sexual crime, but he's done a lot. But it's you cannot do that. He need to say that about his board member who's yes, exactly. And the irony is that Clark and several of those people on the city council, they have been accused. They have been accused, okay? So anyway, let me play the video. I have to clarify. He can't be the. He's trying to. Oh, did it freeze up? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me share. I forgot to share it too. He says during this meeting, this is Colby has been arrested by this point. Okay, so this was at the very end of the meeting. I made a public comment. He was rude. He interrupted me. Clark always leaves a mayoral comment for the end because he has to have the last say. What? Sorry, I don't know what he's barking at. Speaking of getting harassed, right? Let me see. Let me make sure no one's doing any shenanigans out here. Okay, I don't see anybody, boo boo. Okay, looks quiet. Oh, you know what? It could be a roaming dog, which we still get. But he's trying to accuse me of a sexual crime with no proof, which puts my life in danger, my safety at risk. Is defamation, puts my career at risk. Clark needs to worry about the lawsuit from the previous chief of police instead of harassing Colby. Yeah, exactly. The old man with the all white hair. Yes, yeah, Tyrone. So he's trying to compare that. He's trying to teach me a lesson by making these horrible allegations and saying, because you all come and make allegations against me, but you have no proof. We do have proof. We would have more proof if you would actually show the receipts of where the money's being spent. But we have showed and we've talked and we've shared with the public and at the city council meetings, we have shared we've shared proof of misdeeds and corruption of Clark and his administration many times. So I don't know what he thinks he's trying to teach us, by treating us so horribly.
When you work with a Thornton High School as a French teacher, one of the children made an allegation against you that said that you were being sexually inappropriate. She didn't like that. And the reason why you didn't like it is because allegations go a long way. And you end up having to resign from your job before the actual conclusion of the investigation.
So, girl, I am on Clarky Boy. That's right. Get him. So first of all, no, I was not. They weren't investigating me for child abuse or anything, and I did not leave, or I didn't resign. Or no, what did he say? He said I was fired. I resigned because I was tired of being bullied for being gay, and the administration did not do anything, and they did not support me. And I had a small group of students that I guess they didn't like me because I was gay, and they didn't hide it. And they said, we're going to try to get him fired. And they did try to make up all sorts of false scandals and lies and things. So first of all, that is not true. Okay. As far as I never did anything wrong, and I wasn't fired, and I resigned not because I had to, but because I wanted to, because I was tired of being harassed. And like I said, the administration didn't help me. As a matter of fact, sometimes they would blame me, or they would try to blame me, and like, oh, well, maybe these kids are giving you a hard time, just because you shouldn't be so gay, as if by just being a member of the LGBT community that we're trying to convert other people to being gay or something. It's very, very perverted, harmful beliefs. It's like, that's not how it works. Like, that's like telling a black teacher, well, why don't you just focus on teaching French, but don't be so black about it. That's what I was told, except take away black, but insert gay. That's what one of my colleagues told me, who's supposed to be, an educated person that went to college and everything. And So imagine coming to work every day having to face that. I was just like, this is too stressful. I can't take it. So actually, I was the victim. I was the one that was being harassed. That guy is the same one over the word that people's board up in their apartments. Oh yeah, Tyrone. Yeah, exactly. But it's almost like you don't, so I was not believed as a gay man. Now, like I said, if it had been a racial issue or I think a gender issue, like I said, if I were a woman or especially if I were a Black woman, like a lot of my colleagues were Black female teachers, if I had said, oh my God, administration, students are calling me the N word and they're trying to discredit me or they're talking about my breasts in class and and they're calling me these racial slurs and they're saying that they want to get me fired because I'm Black or I'm female or, whatever, I feel like I would have gotten more support. But I mean, the sad reality is, and it happens to a lot of gays, we're just seen as optional. We're not really seen as fully human. And people still believe that you can convert people to be gay. Children, I understand them thinking that, but I don't get why adults would think that. I'm like, you guys went to college and everything. You never learned that? Like, do you think the gay people in your life, do you think like they had a teacher that converted them or something? I'm like, that is not how it works. It's also insulting to be told don't be so gay about it. It's like, you can't change that. That's just who you are. It doesn't mean that we're, preaching anything that someone else has to be gay. It was very, very, very strange and very unprofessional. All right, let's go on here.
Those were allegations. You saw that. Your parents saw that. Your family members saw that. And they had experienced that with you. But you have the nerve to come up here, the unmitigated gall, to come up here and try to accuse somebody of stealing and special interest?
Oh, he gets so angry, doesn't he? He gets so worked up. That's usually when you know that you've hit home, you've hit some truth there. So Colby had already, been arrested at this point, but he was worked up. And then yeah, I love the PDD Clark comment. Yeah, exactly. Ryan is a form of fearmonger. Oh, you mean Clarkus? He's fear mongering. Is that what you're saying, Foxy? But he's acting so angry, like, oh, how dare we accuse him of stealing and special interest? But the thing is we do have proof. Like, first of all, you never tell us where our money's going. But second of all, I consider that a form of stealing when you don't reveal where the money is going. And also, you and your 4 alder yes men vote for projects spending our tax money on projects that the community does not want. To me, I consider that a form of stealing. Yes, and we have proof of that. I also consider it stealing that Mayor Clark says we can't fix potholes in our streets, and a form of fear mongering, calling out about your sexuality. Right, exactly, yeah. And like I said, unfortunately, he knows that there are people out there that are wacko, and they'll believe him. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, because those gays, they're so horrible anyway. He probably does molest kids because they're all pedophiles anyway. Let me go shoot him." Like you can. So I'm gonna end up shot because you did that, Clark. Shame on you, shame. But like I said, we're not hidden truth is another form of being deceitful. Yeah. So when he is go outside to bark. I'm unalive. He's funny. You hear that? He's like, I lost my train of thought. What were we saying? He got a new set of teeth. He sure did. I wonder where he got that money from. Oh yeah, the money. So Clark always says we're blah 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 million in debt, and that's because Kellogg, and and we don't have any money, and that's why, and these businesses got to pay their taxes, and that's why we did it. He always wants to bring everything up about being broke. He always cries poor, but how did you have enough money to go to Las Vegas last year, Mr. Clark? How do you have enough money to have a 24/7 security patrol for a mayor of a town of like 19,000 people? How do you have enough money to always have several police cars outside of the 2 homes that you own in Harvey, at least that we know of in your name? Um, and there's always cop cars out there, and the one video camera we have that the police have is, like, outside of those 2 houses, and by the way, the mayor doesn't even stay in those houses. But how is there always money? How is there so much money to upgrade your office and the mayor's suite and to provide you with door-to-door chauffeured service wherever you go, and you always have at least 2 cars driving you around? So it doesn't make sense to me. I consider that stealing, and the proof is right in front of us. So that really pisses me off when he says, here, let me accuse you of this violent sexual crime that puts your life in danger, because that's gonna teach you a lesson about allegations, because you how dare you allege that I am misusing money or stealing money or hiding things, but he's doing these things. We're not making it up. Clarky Boy need to answer for 8 years of your city. Yeah, exactly. And he still blames the prior administration. Yeah, donate to the pothole. Yeah, exactly.
Which I said before, you have no proof of anything. You feel like if you can just say it, that people are going to believe it. So the next time you want to come up here and you want to talk about...
And except, Clark, we do have proof. We have proof of a lot of things. So, again, you're just making yourself look like a horrible, evil, vindictive, narcissistic leader. We do have the proof. You just refuse to acknowledge it because you don't want to acknowledge the truth and acknowledge what you're doing wrong. That doesn't mean that it's not true.
Something that you believe this administration has done improperly, and you want to allude that there's a problem. Why don't you think about those?
No, we don't need to allude. Like I said, we talk about it openly, and I try to share as much information as possible openly on Facebook and wherever I can. So it's crazy how he talks. I'm still blown out about him telling Jed that he doesn't know what the treasure is. Right. Yeah. And by the way, it sounds like Jed and Clark are saying similar things as far as throwing our elected treasurer under the bus. Now, she has told us for years that she's not able to give us information because Clark and the comptroller that he hired, Lewis Williams, they keep her locked out, so she's not able to have access to the book. So that's what she says. And it seems that Jed and Clark are both trying to throw the treasurer under the bus, and that's not right either.
Those kids who made those allegations against you. Why don't you go find?
And again, why are you distracting from what you're doing with the city by talking about kids that I did not harm?
Find them and straighten that out.
Straighten what out? I don't have anything to straighten out. What really makes me suspicious is that, they say with narcissists like Clark, they say accusations are confessions. So if I'm being accused of sexual impropriety with children to try to discredit me and distract from where the money's going, is there a particular reason, Mayor Clark, that you chose those allegations out of anything you could have done? Is this accusation a confession? And I mean very specifically about accusing me of sexual impropriety with youth. Is that false allegation against me? Is that a confession? I'm asking the question because, like I said, narcissists are famous for that. They will accuse you of the very things that they are doing. So that makes me even more worried, besides just for my safety. I'm like, uh-oh, what's he not telling us?
Because while this is up here worried about where $10 is going, we should be worried about the welfare of children.
Wow. And you know what? That could be a great Clark quote right there. So while we're sitting up here wondering about where $10 is going, we should be worried about the welfare of children. First of all, this is about millions of dollars, not $10. Like, how does he think that we're all just dumb? Like we have no intelligence? Yeah, deflecting, exactly. Gaslighting. You're right, Ryan. He may be the exact yes. And I'm not saying again because I'm not trying to defame him or slander him, but I'm just saying, when you throw out serious accusations like that, it's like that's concerning. Like, where did you why didn't, for instance, of all things, why wouldn't he? We know Clark steals money, misappropriates money, he hides where the money is. Well, why wouldn't Clark accuse me of being a thief, right? That would make sense, within the whole narcissist thing. Accusations are confessions. So that's why I said, of all things, why would he accuse me of abusing a child? Worries me. Crook says he comes off as one. Ooh. Yeah, but I mean, even that, I don't know. I don't want to judge him like that. Like, okay, I just want the facts. If somebody has actual evidence, then please come forward. Let us know. I don't have any evidence, but it's very disturbing that someone would bring up accusations like that. It's like watching Trump talking. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Trump does this all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Very similar to Trump.
And that was dealing with the welfare of children. Thornton Township High School should have called DCFS immediately when the allegation was made. But you didn't. Because people didn't hear about the children. Then you go on to another school.
So, yeah, no one, to my knowledge, no one ever called DCFS. I don't have anything in my file about that. I was never told. So I would assume, since when you're a teacher or an administrator with children, everyone they call us a mandated reporter. So if they put their bad behavior on you. Yeah, thank you, Grace. Exactly. Yeah, it's very, very common. So like I said, it's concerning when he makes that type of allegation. It's like, of all things, like I'd expect him to call me a thief, since he is a thief. But yeah, when someone accuses you of being a child abuser, you're like, oh, and you're a narcissist. I'm like, that's actually really concerning. But no, DCFS, to my knowledge, I was never involved in an investigation. They were never called. Nothing's in my file about it. So why is Clark so worried about this? It's just very, very suspicious. Also, another point that I have, or worry that I have about this that I brought up before, is that some of this information generally, I did confront Clark about before, because he has spread this rumor, by the way, for years. He and some others, like Keith Price and some others, they had spread this rumor about me for years, but I never had a recording of it. So I had spoken to Clark about that at some point, and said, oh, I know why, because I was considering running for some position, and for some reason he did not want to support me at the time. And this is, like I said, when I was, supporting him a few years ago, and we all were hoping he was going to be this reformer. And I said, I hope it's not related to anything about like some of these rumors that people were spreading about me from Thornton, right? And oh no. Da, 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 da. Well, lo and behold, he's telling on himself that he's one of the ones spreading these rumors. But also, how would he even know some of this information? As far as yes, there were investigations going on. Yes, there was a lot of shady stuff. However, it wasn't because I did anything wrong. It was because I was being severely bullied for being gay. How would you know this, Mr. Clark? Now, I will say, Chris has some people he knows fairly well who work for District 205. These people that you know very well, I'll just leave it at that. Could they have been passing on confidential information about school staff members and minors to you? Because really, there's no other way that you should have even known that. So I think that's a really important question I want to ask. Again, very concerning. So how would you, Mayor Clark? Now he says when I did the live on Jed, and he said, "Oh, but you told me about that." Yes, I did mention a few things. And I said these were rumors. It's not true, and this and this. But he's sharing some other things in these comments that I never said, and it sounds like someone was sharing some confidential information. Hey, Diana, how are you? Hi, neighbor. It sounds like someone was sharing some confidential information. Someone who was aware of what of certain things that were going on, complaints that were being made, like the complaints that I made about being bullied, but some of the specifics that I never told Clark, and I never really told anyone. How does he know this? And again, that's confidential information about an employee. That's confidential information about minors at the high school. They tried to stop you before you got into politics. Southside Political Zoo. Oh, Grace, you get the award. Yes, thank you. Because guess what? Guess what happened? Isn't this interesting? I started having all this bullying about being gay in 2017. In the spring of 2017, I ran for District 152. Now, a lot of the people that are on the board for District 152, which are the Harvey Elementary Schools, they're buddy with certain people in District 205. And exactly like you said, Grace, they already knew, this guy, he asks questions, he wants to help, but he wants to know what's going on. No, we have to do everything we can to keep him out of this. So it's very interesting that I never really had that much of a struggle at Thornton until that year, until I decided to run for a public school board. And then all of a sudden I had this really aggressive group of students and they were trying to spread rumors and start all this trouble about me being gay. And I'll never forget that timing. Wasn't that very interesting? Now, if I would have known what I know now, then I would have stayed, and I think I would have fought, But at the time, it was just very stressed, and I was like, oh, I don't have time to fight all this. Well, that's why we're doing the press conference tomorrow at 6 p.m., and we're going to continue speaking up, because in the years since then, I've realized that you cannot run away from bullies. You have to fight. You have to speak up, even when you're tired, even when you're sad, even when you're exhausted, and you want to just be like, I'm done with it, because they'll keep coming back for you. So thank you, Grace, for saying that, because that is exactly what they tried to do. Yep. Any way to discredit. It's just this one's a particularly nasty way to do it. Didn't the alderwoman say, yep, Talani brought it up publicly a few times first before Clark did. Exactly. You are correct. Some people will start rumors without knowing the truth. Yep. And then, wow, yeah. But I still, that's a question that needs to be answered, because like I said, Clark has, we'll just say, some people that he knows very well that work for District 205. And the only way he would know some of that information is if someone with insider knowledge would have been saying that. Now, like I said, he's going to twist the truth and, say different things to try to make me look bad. But the fact of the matter is, again, how do you know all that? That's all confidential information. He spent so much time looking at people's background, gossiping about people childish. He need to be worrying about what's going on in the neighborhood. Right, exactly. Do you notice anything except how he's doing his job and where the money's going? Anything.
And he followed you there.
Yeah, I did end up, I was a flight attendant for a little bit, and then I had another teaching job, but nothing followed me anywhere. I ended up leaving that school because I was also being bullied for being gay there, but unfortunately it just happens a lot to gay teachers. It wasn't, I don't think it was connected to what had happened at Thornton at all. But, again, Clark's going to say what he's going to say.
So now you're selling real estate. And maybe you're doing good, maybe you're not.
What's that supposed to mean? You're trying to make me lose my real estate job? Again, not cool, Clark. You are a bully, and you need to be put in your place.
And you telling me you want to be an exclusive real estate agent for the city.
And that's not true either. But again, it doesn't stop Clark from saying it. Lie, lie, lie.
And because I decided that we're going to take a different direction, all of a sudden you start the Harvey Historical Society.
Yeah, Clark, you don't have to put it in quotes. It is the Harvey Historical Society. And actually, I started that in 2023 because you were reelected that year. And there were some buildings on Broadway across from City Hall that you got so giddy and had a meeting and you said, oh, we got a grant from Robin Kelly and we can finally demolish those buildings. And I had an investor who was interested in buying them and fixing them up because they're part of Harvey's historic Motor Row connected to the auto sales in the early 1900s when automobiles were new. And instead of allowing people to use their money, their own money to fix up a building, they weren't asking for handouts from the city. You kept pushing and pushing and fighting us to demolish them. And that was part of why the Historical Society was born, because I said, if we don't fight for our historic properties, this man and his allies, they would demolish all of downtown Harvey if they could. And they would displace all the residents if they could. Anything for money and land.
And decide that you want to be interested in Harvey history.
And yes, I am interested in Harvey history. My family has been in this area for over 100 years. So what? At least I care about Harvey history, and I care about Harvey people that live here now. Do you? And did you hear that laugh? I'm almost certain that was the man who has been credibly accused of different sexual crimes over the years, Alderman Tyrone Rogers. But we're going to get to him later. There he goes. I think that was Tyrone or that was Randall L. And then Randall L says, that's smoke. Look it's a big joke to them. Telane's looking at my camera, smiling away. Randall L sitting back in his seat, laughing and laughing and laughing. Really? So someone could potentially think that I actually abuse children and come shoot me or try to blacklist me for jobs. And you think it's funny?
Because little marijuana man was so urban and now that was being investigated for marijuana. He does the same thing.
Yeah, and then he throws Mazurk Urban under the bus. Like, evil.
Don't come in here if your drawers is dirty trying to talk about me.
My drawers are not dirty. Yours, on the other hand,
don't come in here if your drawers are dirty trying to talk about my staff or the city council.
Oh, your staff and the city council, like they belong to you? I have news for you, Clark. You don't own the city, okay? The city belongs to the residents, the people that are here. You are a steward. You're elected. And just as quickly as you got elected, you can be booted. And you really probably should be in jail. We know the FBI is investigating you, but that's okay. Just keep pushing it, because the more you push me, Colby, anybody else who speaks out, we're going to keep pushing back.
Streets are getting done.
No, they're not.
Why you did? But that depends on what's wrong. Because remember when Tony Franklin told him to sit down and have a seat after he got his 3 minutes to cook down?
Right, because I shared at the Cook County Board meeting earlier this year about asking for the sheriff to come to our meetings to protect us against our own police that he weaponizes against us. And I said, why don't you look into where all the money's going? I said, Cook County, you've given grants to Harvey for a lot of things. For instance, fixing fire hydrants. For those of you that live here, you know that money didn't go to fixing any fire hydrants. A lot of them are still broken. So where did the money go? I spoke for my 3 minutes and then I was done. So what do you want to make out of that, Clark? Oh, because he was watching. You were embarrassed, weren't you? You were embarrassed that I went in front of the county board to call you out. Well, maybe you should be honest and stop stealing from the city.
He sat down. They feel like they don't have to follow the rules here. But they can go other places and do it and talk about this administration. Streets are getting done. Every first meeting of the month, this staff is getting up here telling everyone what's going on with this city. So if anybody is watching this, I'm sure some people on Facebook are watching, and maybe Ryan will cut out his segment.
And again, the narcissist, the accusations are confessions. Don't you need a background check to be a real estate? I don't know if Clark is a real estate agent. That's a good question. Money, land, and don't forget a position. Oh my, call Tyrone, maybe a map. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Happy Sunday. Good to see you. And thank you for last night. You made a little one. Oh, I missed it. You guys have to tell me what happened last night. But his closet is full of baby oil. Oh boy. Oh boy.
But if anybody watches this,
that's what I meant. So he was accusing me of that I was going to the kids are in bed, last days of school this week. Oh yeah. He was accusing me of like, taking out portions of the video. I don't do that. But is this a confession? Do you do that? We've seen other people. We've seen Dalton do that. The township do that. We've seen a lot of government entities do that. They're not supposed to when they share the video, but a lot of them do. I think he just confessed again.
You know things are going on in the city, but you would rather down the city that you live in.
No, we're not downing the city we live in, Clark. We're downing you and your four aldermen, Delaney Smith, Tyrone Rogers, Shirley Jerinski, and Dominique Randall L. We're downing you. Let's be clear here. You're ruining the city. Do we have to spell that out for you?
It makes absolutely no sense. You want to set your own house on fire.
Oh, and he's on a roll. What did I tell you about these accusations are confessions? Do you know how many unsolved fires we have in Harvey? Do you know how often fires break out? Interesting. You should choose that one. What do you call that again? Not allegory. Not anomaly. Why am I losing my words? Analogy. Why would Clark choose that one analogy with all the uninvestigated, unsolved fires we have that happen all the time? And he says, you want to set your own house on fire. By the way, my FOIA about the fire report still hasn't been answered. Look at her face. Look at her face. So being Clark's little, I could think of a lot of things to say, but Clark's little, yes, lady, that makes you that happy? Somebody needs to look into Delaney because, she likes to talk. She was, wait, hold on a second. Watching him make my skin crawl. Oh, yeah. But Delaney, someone needs to look into her. Isn't she a social worker? She said on Jed's Live last week, and she was like, why don't you tell people why you can't work with children no more, or something like that. It's like, there's nothing wrong with me. I have a great teaching life. I can work with children. I'm an excellent teacher. I love teaching French, and I love working with kids or whatever I'm doing, my community work. I don't like that lady. Put her name in the chat for me. Yes, let's do that. So somebody needs to look up Delaney Smith because as far as I know, she's a social worker. So you want to cast all the stones. So maybe with all the shady stuff you're up to with the city of Harvey, maybe you shouldn't be working with children, Miss Delaney Smith. Somebody needs to look into that.
Buildings are being erected, businesses are
Look, she just thinks it's so funny, and they're laughing together.
Businesses are coming. But you bring that smoke every single time. I'm going to ask this every day. What happened to that kid? And if that kid is out there, who probably isn't.
What happened to that kid? What is he talking about? Wait, what did you guys say? I missed. The Minions. Yes, exactly. The Minions. Like they're so childish and disgusting. Tiffany's twin for real. That kid is out. What are you talking about, Clark? Like I said, don't throw those allegations around. Those could get me killed. Irresponsible. Horrible.
Note by now. My number is 708-210-5300. Call me so we can get to the bottom of what really happened to you. And whatever psychological impacts that you have to go through because the teacher decided that they wanted to do something, at least allegedly, inappropriately with you.
Wow. So just that last part alone, to me, that's like a real, like, I feel like for defamation, that should sell alone. Like, you're going to give your phone number to an imagined victim out there and say, oh, call me because we can talk about it and all the psychological harm because a teacher allegedly did this. Da, 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 da. You're guilty, Clark. You are riling people up that you know on purpose. There are people out there that already think just because you're gay, you're a child abuser. Never mind the fact that statistics show us most child abusers are actually straight white males. Did you know that? That's what the statistics show. But you know exactly what you're doing, Clark. You are trying to ruin my career. You're trying to endanger my health and my safety. Because like I said, some wacko could come here and just shoot me because there are too many people out there that already think that just if you're gay, you're a child molester. You do not need to be feeding into this, Clark. He will literally do anything but tell you where the money is. Anything. This is not acceptable. Taking names and creeping. I got you right. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Grace. Guess who that was? I'm almost sure. Guess who did the dramatic woo? Foxy. I'll give you one guess. Foxy knows. I'm pretty sure it was Foxy's buddy doing that. The people that have actually been accused, they're the ones that are making the dramatic images.
That being said, if there is nothing else for the bill, but I just want to let you know, I'm okay with that foolishness, and yes, I'll interrupt because I'm the chair.
Oh, look at you, big boy. And he says, well, and I'll interrupt because I'm the chair. Look at me. I am the little hammer thingy. See? Everybody has to respect me. Clark, were you bullied growing up? What is your problem? Why do you always have to bully other people and do horrible things to other people to make yourself feel powerful? If you want people to like you and to be grateful for your leadership, why don't you try helping them? Try that. Delaney. Oh, no. I think the person who said woo, it was one of the guys. I think it was your buddy Tyrone. We don't want no more free guy. Right. That was the other thing that worried me because he was like, well, here's my number. Call me and tell me about it. And I was like, uh-oh, is this another accusation that's a confession? Like, are there kids out there that we should be talking to because you did something, Clark? Like, this is that really scares me. Yeah. So he's such a child. Look at. I can say whatever I want. I'm the mayor. I didn't like what you said. You're arrested. You're a child abuser. Don't
come with that mess no more. If you
Don't come with that mess no more. What mess? You mean the mess of a city that Harvey is? Because of you and your buddies? And that's the only mess I see. Temptation that need a perm.
smoke, I'm ready for you.
Oh. So I want everybody to remember that. He says, if you want smoke, I'm ready for ya. And I love how he does this to try, even though he's a lawyer, he's like, well, look at me. I'm such an average, everyday man. Let me throw a little slang in there. You want smoke? I'm ready for ya. So you heard him. He's daring you to go find all the horrible things that he and his 4 elder yes-men have done. So take it as a challenge, guys. Please do. Please do. If you need their names, you can go to thecityofharvey.org. The website has all their names. They're daring us. They're going to call me a pedophile. They're going to arrest people. They're going to ticket people for stupid things. They're going to push people out of their homes. And then they're going to dare you and dare all of us to try to find anything wrong on them. So we've already found a lot that they've done horrible, but let's just keep digging. Let's see what we can find. Let's see what we can find, huh? Do y'all think Clark was at Melanie Fitness at the party a few years ago? Oh, we never know. He don't have no friends. Exactly. I think that's what it is. I think maybe he was bullied as a youth or something. Because why do you have to work so hard to make people's lives like hell, to abuse seniors, to lie to seniors, to bribe them with food in worse ways than Tiffany ever did? Did you know that he lied to a group of Harvey seniors and told them they were going to go on a trip and to Chicago and get some good food? And he took them to the MWRD meeting and then gave them shirts to wear. Most of them didn't even know what was going on. Some of them are ill, like they're very easily taken advantage of. They're lonely. And he made them go to this meeting and portrayed it to the MWRD. They put on this big show in front of the board as if these seniors were supporting taking other seniors' homes for the park he wants to build. Who does this? Who treats elderly people? I mean, that's elder abuse, but who does this? But the worst of all narcissists. You have to pay people to even hang out with you, to be near you? Yeah, and he definitely is not God, that's for sure.
I'm just letting you know. But coming in here making allegations.
Look at her again. Delaney, you are a mess. Why don't you focus on yourself instead of laughing all that whole time?
And acting like somebody is doing something wrong in this administration, that will not be tolerated.
Oh, did you hear that? So again, no matter what we say, no matter what we do to try to expose what he's doing wrong, he's telling us right now, it will not be tolerated. So like I said, bullies, they only respect strength, right? We're going to have to show him that we're not backing down. So come tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pulling a Tiffany, Bustle seniors. Yep, absolutely. But I mean, even Tiffany didn't take seniors to support other seniors getting their homes taken away from them by MWRD, which is a public board, and the city of Harvey. I mean, like he's truly evil.
And if you decide that you want to do it, you're ready for pushback.
And there you go. So he says, he told us, if you decide you want to expose what we're doing, be ready for pushback. So he makes another threat. So anyway, it's just It's crazy. I wanted to share that with you guys. Let me quickly share the press release that I sent out. I'll pull that up. I promise. I'm not. Oh, it's after midnight already. I don't want to be up too late. Let me see here. 1 second. I'm just gonna pull up the press release. And if you guys want to be added to the oops, that's the wrong Gmail. Sorry, not that one. If you want to be added to our mailing list, you can always send me your contact info. It's a play from Tiffany's Crooked County Shuffle from right, yeah. And remember how Tiffany would bribe the people with the bingo and stuff, the seniors especially. So Clark does something similar. He just they'll have, I think they have weekly activities for the seniors at City Hall. The crazy thing is that for the most part, if you are an outspoken critic against Clark, you won't even be welcome. Like, it's so horrible how they play these seniors. We talked about Delaney. I wanted to share Chris more comments too. The agenda for tomorrow, yes. So I posted that in the Harvey Historical Society. So you can always find the most current updates I'll put on the Harvey Historical Society Facebook page. And then I have my YouTube channel. But that's not like the most up-to-date stuff. It's usually going to be on Facebook. Is it raining? No, it's not raining right now, but it was on and off all day today. Okay. Let me share. Oh, wait. I just realized, you know what? I could. Oops. Oh, whoops. Because I have a nice Word document version of it. I didn't even have to open that. I appreciate it. Okay, there we go. Now you guys can see it, right? Okay. Yeah, so this is a little press release that I put together. So I just wanted to go over that really quickly. And like I said, if you're on our email list, I sent it out to you for immediate release. Just in time for Pride Month, the mayor of Harvey is endangering the life of a gay resident who's also a frequent critic of the mayor by falsely accusing him of abusing children. And then I linked to the video we just watched. This follows a pattern of bullying by public officials in Harvey and in the Southland towards anyone who demands transparency and accountability. Residents have been ticketed $500 and escorted out of public meetings for simply asking how their tax money is being spent. Alderwoman Colby Chapman's been arrested 4 times for advocating for her residents. Clark has extorted local businesses and churches and abused property maintenance codes. To squeeze residents for thousands of dollars. Mayor Clark and his allies will continue to target and harass the LGBT community, Latinos, women, the elderly, and the most vulnerable among us to try to silence our voices, says Harvey Historical Society Director Ryan Samowski. We won't be bullied into submission. Speak up. Your silence will not protect you. Members of the press and the public are encouraged to attend the press conference and stay for the city council meeting immediately following. And then the folks from Tinley Park PFLAG, I thank them so much. They made a lovely invitation as well, which actually I could probably, let me put that in the chat because I'm so grateful to them. Kathy is the president. So again, Monday, June 9th, 6 p.m., Harvey City Hall. My contact information, and look at what Kathy made. Isn't this cute? She made a little thing from PFLAG Tinley Park. I went to their meeting today, and yeah, it was so great to see that, to see some people that care. How he played your song. Exactly. We need to out him for that, Shirlene. Yeah, close that window, Crook. You don't want to get water in there. But that's the cool little announcement they made up for me for tomorrow. It's really cool. So that's tomorrow, folks. Where'd it go? What is wrong with this silly thing? There it goes. Now it popped up. Okay. So, some of you may know Chris Moore. He is a Harvey resident. He can be controversial. He's opposed Clark for years, but then recently he posted a few things that seems like he's supporting Clark. So I don't know what's going on. But he commented, I shared the video and everything that I just shared with you guys, and he commented on this, and I thought that I actually agree with what he said, but I wanted to share it with you guys. You can see. So he says, wait, can you see that I added? Did I add it in? No, I didn't add it in. Okay. So again, this was on the Facebook post that I shared. He says, those skills as a prosecutorial attorney come to light in this video. What I find interesting in all of this is Alderman Tyrone Rogers is in full agreement with everything that Chris Clark is saying. Yet his drawers are dirty. Did you hear in that video? He's like, yeah, ooh, he's like the little amen corner. Chris Clark eloquently talks about how no one cares about kids, and he's absolutely right. So he doesn't focus much time on them himself. But the real fact is no one cares about Black women in the city of Harvey. And I was like, oh, how is he tying this in? And I'm like, yep, it's just more bullying. Case in point, Alderman Tyrone Rogers has been accused of over 30 women being sexually assaulted. I don't know if it's 30, but in some type of way or degree over the years. And these are the women that the state was going to put on in his sexual assault trial when a woman was allegedly raped and sodomized in the basement of Harvey City Hall. What if we were to care about women and ask one of those women, are they okay? Oh. And now, Chris Moore, I couldn't have done it better. I love that, how he turned from Chris Clark's false allegation trying to make me look bad and saying, oh, what about the children? We should talk to the children. And he said, what about all those women that accused Tyrone? That's not rumor. Are they okay? Did they have any psychological issues after surviving Tyrone Rogers? Excellent closing remarks from the prosecution. Now, just in case, you guys thought maybe we were making that up, okay? Let's take a look-see, shall we? Shall we? Okay. So, bang, bang. Yep. And again, that's not rumor. Names made public. Yeah, let's go. Let's just Google Tyrone Rogers and see what shows up. How about that? Okay. I'm not even going to put in sexual assault or anything. I'll just put in his name. But I love that. What if we were to care about women and ask one of those women, are they okay? Did they have any psychological issues? Oh no, but let's just let's just put Ryan's safety and life in danger and falsely accuse him of abusing children. Yeah, let's do that so we can distract from the real abusers. I heard allegedly Rogers had been wearing an electronic ankle bracelet. Very possible. Okay. So let's take a look at this now. So I just did a search, okay? Wait, can you guys see? No, got to add it to the stage. Okay, there we go. Simple search, right? I didn't put in just so you can see, I didn't put in sexual assault. Tyrone Rogers, Harvey, Illinois. Okay. It's okay, he's got a page. Let's see what comes up. Let's see. Okay. I don't think it's particularly updated, is it? Okay, last thing was from 2023 because that's when they ran last. Okay, got it. Oh, and someone had posted here about the apartment complex on Halstead. There. Yeah, so that was interesting. Okay, come on, back. Okay, City Council. Okay, so there he is on the website. Let's see. This is an article from 2018. Sex assault is no red flag for this suburban school board. Okay, there's your Mr. Rogers. Tyrone Rogers has been charged with 3 felonies: aggravated criminal sexual assault, attempted criminal sexual assault, and aggravated criminal sexual abuse and kidnapping. Yeah, he could share his story. Okay, so did you all hear that? Did you hear that? Should I read it again? Now remember, Clark accused me of being sexually inappropriate with the child. Let's read what Tyrone Rogers, and like, not that everything that's in the paper is true, but Tyrone Rogers' first term has been charged with 3 felonies: aggravated criminal sexual assault, attempted criminal sexual assault, and aggravated criminal sexual abuse, and wait for it, if that was not enough, kidnapping. Kidnapping. Apologies does answer his phone, but he may not call you back to resolve your issue. Okay. Get him. Hey, right? But remember, this isn't rumor. I'm trying to strictly deal with facts. PKA chalkboard. I don't understand that. This is a wild story. Yep. Let's keep reading, shall we? Yet he remained a school board member in Harvey, in District 152. That's the district that I ran for. Oh, wait. I ran for that district just the year before in 2017. Isn't that interesting? That's around the same time that I started getting intense bullying about being gay at District 205 at Thornton, and administrators refused to help me. It's interesting because Tyrone and his wife, Janet, they have some friends. They have a lot of friends in District 205. I wonder if there's a connection there. He's on court-ordered electronic home monitoring. Oh, well, there you go. There's your ankle. So you can cross off that. No apologies, no rumors there. That's facts, according to the Southtown. So he sure did. He had his that ankle bracelet on. Okay. He's repeatedly been given permission by the judge to leave his home and attend school board meetings. Oh, how kind of the judge. Oh, sorry, I got to sit back down again. Look, someone wants attention. The big baby. He's my big baby. Despite the current social climate, the Me Too movement, and nationwide outrage over the way women have been ignored and marginalized when it comes to sexual harassment, I'm told that no one on the school board has complained that Rogers continues to attend meetings. No protests outside 152 office. No parents demanding that he resign. Well, I mean, at the same time, if you see how people in Harvey are treated when they complain, and if you hear all the people that would share their stories, or who are afraid to share their stories, but they'll tell you privately about how whenever they've spoken against the Rogers, how they have faced severe retaliation against them and their families. Maybe that's why people weren't complaining. Not because they didn't have complaints, but they're afraid. However, the school board president not only is supporting Rogers, but she actually posted Rogers' bail because that's Janet Rogers, Tyrone's wife. There are 2 interim school superintendents jointly running the school district. They were appointed after what happened? Oh, former school superintendent Denise Adams lost her job and filed a federal lawsuit claiming, among other things, Tyrone Rogers said she was itching for an ass kicking after she requested a forensic audit of district finances. Oh, interesting. Oh, and by the way, taxpayers, thanks, Wyoming. Thank you. We had to, oh yeah, and you guys are neighbors, Diana. That's awesome. Taxpayers had to pay $400,000 for that lawsuit because Tyrone threatened the lady. By the way, Mrs. Rogers was convicted of theft and state benefits fraud in 2004 over false information on her son's financial aid application, prompting her to step down from the school board. She couldn't be on the board. However, she rejoined the school board and was allowed to stay despite her criminal past after she was pardoned by Governor Paquin, which I'm told that was a Frank Zuccarelli thing. Frank Zuccarelli loved the Rogers for some reason. I don't know why. So, as for Mr. Rogers, a 49-year-old woman claims she went to the Harvey Municipal Center on the afternoon of August 26, 2016 to meet with Rogers on behalf of a friend. The friend was a poor woman dealing with a raccoon problem at her home. The victim told the Cook County Sheriff's Police that since she had known Rogers for 40 years and he worked for the city of Harvey, she thought he might be able to get officials to deal with the raccoon problem. Rogers had also been married to a relative of the alleged victim. The woman said she met Rogers in the main office at Harvey City Hall with other workers present and asked if she could speak with them. Rogers allegedly stated, "Yes, let's go to my office." The victim told police Rogers took her down a long hallway, grabbed her right wrist, pulled her inside an office, and closed the door. At this point, Rogers made his intention clear and began pulling at her clothes. The woman said she tried to get out of the office by running around a long table, but Rogers locked the door with a key. Rogers then allegedly tried to sexually penetrate the woman after pulling her pants down. Now, remember, okay, there are allegations, but these are also not the only allegations. There are other women. And we encourage you, if you have credible allegations, why don't you come forward? Because Tyrone just laughs in city council meetings. When I am accused of doing things like this, which I have not done, he thinks it's funny. Tyrone thinks it's funny. Ha ha ha. So if you're a woman, I'll stand with you. Heck, if you're a man, maybe Tyrone went after you too. I don't know. But I'll stand with you. Why don't you come share your story? Because Tyrone thinks it's all funny. Oh, yeah, you guys are talking about running. Yes. Replace his butt. Get him out of there. And kidnapping, right? Locking the door. Another Andrew Holmes. Harvey's the new Dalton. Yep. Rogers held her head down as he bent her over a table, she told police, but she sank her nails into him and mule kicked him with her right foot. Rogers tried again to penetrate her sexually, the police report states, and also attempted to force her to perform a sex act. The victim contends that Rogers then unlocked the door and let her out. She stopped at a Dollar Tree store and then went to a hospital emergency room where a rape kit inspection was done and Cook County Sheriff's Police were called. I asked Rogers for a comment. Okay. Attorney's office 3 times. He didn't get a response from the attorney. The Cook County State's attorney had said, our prosecutors have consistently objected to the defendant's request for movement off electronic monitoring. I would imagine, since he'd been accused before. What if he tries to go after another woman? The sheriff's office claims it has rarely seen so many releases granted off administrative monitoring, which requires 3 phone calls a day to keep tabs on the defendant. School administrators point the finger at the school board, headed by Mrs. Rogers, Tyrone's wife, who have the power to remove Mr. Rogers. Hey, with all the buck passing going on, maybe this isn't such a big deal. Consider it part of the old "not my job" movement. So I just wanted to share that, though, just so you can see what some of these people that think it's so funny that I'm falsely accused at my peril, right, endangering me, that I'm falsely accused of these crimes, and look what we find out about them. Oh yeah, we also saw that he was, he said he denied that anyone was locked, was closed in their apartments in 2024. Oh wait, what was this? I know there's a picture of Tiffany. I'm sure it's not about Tiffany, but it's a 2019 article. Let's see. This mess. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, he told us in 2019, he told Ted Slowick, I'm certain I'm the best person for the job. So yeah, ladies, this is perfect. I got 2 of his residents here tonight. The I team was out there for that one. This is bad. Foxy Roxy, and he's on the board with that information. Yep. And he thinks it's funny that I would be falsely accused. Isn't this? And remember, this is just one person on the board. A lot of our aldermen, those, especially well, I should say those 4 alder yes-men, they have a lot of stuff going on. Look at the president. Yep. Sorry, I just want to make sure it's not freezing up on us. Okay. Tyrone said in 2019 he's having no problems campaigning now that he's been removed from electronic home monitoring. Oh, I wonder how you must have some friends and allies that enabled that to happen. Oh, wow. He was on home monitoring. There you go, Diana. He was on home monitoring for more than 2 years following his arrest in August 2016 for what we had just read about. I'm going through the judicial system right now. I'm certain I'm the best person for the job. He won 3 elections. He served since 2007 on the 152 board, where his wife, Jen, is board president. Okay. Oh, isn't this so nice? I don't know why. They must have some connection with the judge. The judge granted requests allowing Rogers to go to school board meetings and school board event. Like, what in the... The people of Harvey deserve me, he said. Oh, wow. I don't know how I feel about that, Tyrone. What do you think, ladies who live in his ward? Melville King ran. Damon Morgan and Felicia Johnson, they ran. Okay. I don't know Damon Morgan. Felicia Johnson is with the Park District and the library. Keith Price did not seek re-election. Melville had said not everyone knows about the assault he's charged with. Yep, that's why we're sharing it. Oops. Who spoke up? Johnson? Who's this Johnson? Johnson. Who's Johnson? I lost Johnson. Oh, Felicia Johnson. Okay. Johnson, who serves on the District 152 board with Rogers and his wife, disagrees with King's assessment about the notoriety of Rogers in the community. Everybody knows about Mr. Rogers' case. Everybody's aware of it. Really? Did you know about that, ladies? Did you think it was not a big deal? See why they have a tolerance for homes, exactly. Yes, Kellogg's talking about running. Lord help us. No, thank you. You don't see him until election time. Yep, yep. Oh, right. Right, yes, yep. Colby told it. And you know what? I would say she was right to do so. I mean, he's been accused of it so many times. Kind of can't blame her. Now, Johnson says she's worked for Ford. Okay, she's office manager for the Harvey Park district. She appeared in the campaign. Yeah, so she's with McCaskill. Okay, okay. That was when Chris Clark was alderman, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, at that time, 3 relatives of Kellogg were charged, or among 6 charged. They were investigating extortion, bribery, and prostitution at a strip club. Yeah, I think 3 of them have been sentenced by now. So the FBI does get people. It just takes some years. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a jury award of $400,000 because Tyrone threatened her after she asked for a forensic audit to explore alleged irregularities, questionable spending, and possible misuse of funds. Isn't that interesting? I wonder if that's why they fought so hard against me, because I just ran for 152. I still don't think that they're using our money right. Okay, so that was anyway. That was just a very cursory glance. So I just wanted to show you that, like, that's the stuff that just comes up initially. Like, did you see that was not hard to find? So Tyrone Rogers needs to answer for why does he think that false allegations against me are so funny? Why is that funny, Tyrone? If I were you, of all people, I would not laugh at other people being falsely accused of sexual crimes. Do you think that that's a smart strategy for him, you guys? Blowing my mind. Thank you for this info. Yes, Grace, please put it out there. Like I said, it's just fact. It's not even hidden on the internet, but of course, these people are never going to bring it up, right? Okay, I went over the Chris Moore comments. I think those are important. Oops. Oh, Crook, I saw your question. Did you want me to answer that on live? I can. Just let me know. Yeah, Crooked just asked if, I mean, you're talking about Clark, I'm assuming, right? Is Clark actively spreading rumors, or are you just responding to that one meeting? Clark and I believe, I'm just trying to think of the old Facebook post from 2017 and around that time, but it was Keith Price, Clark. They just thought it was this fun game. Let's pick on the white gay boy. So yeah, they've been actively spreading those rumors for years. But that's okay, because there are a lot of rumors about them too. And what happened to Korean? Oh, I don't know. Do you want me? I didn't want to keep you guys too late, but we could try to look it up. They don't even have a pharmacy or grocery store in Harvey yet. Clarky Boy thinks he's great. Exactly. We lost the one pharmacy we had. Now it's an AutoZone store. Like, okay, that's good, but we got enough. We got enough auto parts stores, guys. We talked about Delaney. I didn't mention Foremost Media, but we don't have to go over that tonight. But that was one. That's the media company that's doing these really horrible Facebook posts trying to make the city look better, but they're just like horrible. Went over the video, the Chris Moore comments. God, there was something else, you guys. What was I going to mention about that? Oh, there you go. You should share that, Crook. That's funny. It's crazy Rogers can sit there making his remarks when Clarkie's talking, not to mention wearing Easter suit with the Halloween jacket. Right. And I actually, do you all still have churches? We do, but the mayor's trying to close those too, Foxy, because he's requiring them to get a business license, even though during Jed's Live last week, he says, oh, well, they're not business licenses. I don't care if you call them, paper tweezers, Clark. Like you're charging them hundreds of dollars a year to pay a fee that they never had to pay before. So if Clark has his way, we're not going to even have any churches. I actually like I appreciate, yes. I think Tyrone dresses like a very flamboyant pimp. I think most people would admit that. I enjoy, I find Tiffany very entertaining, her personality. Like Tyrone, he can be very nice. He can be very charming when he wants to be. He can be very entertaining. But when you're, seriously publicly accused of these like super serious sexual crimes multiple times, it's like no amount of personality or flamboyance or whatever you want to portray Tyrone is gonna make up for, or laughing when I'm accused of doing some of the things that maybe you've done. No amount of that is gonna cover for you. It's not gonna save you. But I do believe that Tyrone and Clark, like with his bow tie and his loud voice, they think that these things are going to distract them or distract people, and that they're going to not get in trouble. That is illegal, Fox. Exactly. He's extorting churches. They have to do better by the people. This is bad. Crooked Cook, kind of keep the great work. I've been keeping my eyes on you and your call for help for the last 6 months. Oh, thank you, Grace. Please do. Yes, we need it. I need the help. Because, I don't get paid for any of this stuff. I just, I still have to work to pay the bills and everything else. And I know what I wanted to show you guys before I left for tonight, just in case you didn't see the other day, because this is another thing we're fighting. Thank God, at least I have a lawyer who's helping with this. These were just the latest. Look at this pile. Look. This is what happens. This is why I'm saying you cannot be silent, okay? Because when you speak up, this will happen. But when you're silent, this or worse will happen. These are the amount of tickets I've gotten just in the past maybe 2 or 3 weeks from the city of Harvey for one of my properties. No, they're very well maintained. There's no reason for any of these tickets. But this is what happens when you speak up. Some of the tickets are for $500, $1,000, $250, and they just keep sending them. That's what happens when you speak. So yeah, it's going to happen. They're going to come for you. But what I want to remind people is that being quiet doesn't prevent it, because Clark has thank you, Grace. Keep pushing. I will, and I need everybody's help, but I will. Clark has shut down so many businesses that never did anything wrong. They never made noise. They never stepped out of line. If you don't say anything and you don't push back, they're just going to see you as weak. And they're going to come after you even more. Also, I wanted to show this again, and thanks to Conscious and those of you that donated. I do wear my body cam. I'll be wearing it tomorrow again. See, there it is in its little charger. Beep, beep. And look, here I have all these cool things I could be doing instead. And no, I have to be documenting and keeping track of piles of bogus fines. I made this myself. This is my buffet that I made. I put in these cabinets. They're not totally done. But I made these cabinets myself, my pass through. I did all that stuff myself. I'm refreshing my 1920s, wood. Do you know all of the things? Oh yeah, I put in my little wainscoting and everything. I mean, I could get so much more done if I didn't have to worry about the city constantly coming after me. Flint, Michigan is just as bad. They still have bad water and not made whole. Ugh, I'm on it too. Oh, that's excellent. Yes, yes. I think you guys are doing great. I really appreciate everything you're doing. Yeah, did I forget something, you guys? I guess we covered most everything. I do have 2 interns that are helping this summer, so I'm grateful for that. There is a little bit of a tidbit that's really cool. Let me share this with you since it just happens to be in my photos. I don't think the link to our website is working right now. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but the Harvey Historical Society website, the link is. Oh, see, that's weird. It works when I do that, but let me see if I open it. New incognito window. It'll work then. Yeah, see, it asks me to sign in. It asks me to sign into Google. I shouldn't have to. But I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so it's the South Side have to work together. Foxy, I see you. Keep it up. Yes, we do. Let's all work together because the evil people, they certainly work together, don't they? I wanted to show you guys a little bit. This is something that my interns worked on, and they did a great job. This is mostly. Ooh. Come on, where's the Chrome tab? Ah, there we go. All right, so this is our website that we are working on. It's a work in progress. Okay, so we have Harvey Historical Society. So I put together a little collage. This is the church that Clark wants to knock down, where my family went. Horrible, man. So we have a little bit about Harvey in the media, activism, historical archives. So I wanted to show you Michael, one of our interns. So he did this lovely bit about Amanda Smith. How's the lady in her home that got mauled by the dogs? Yes, thank you for asking. So they did. They removed they had boarded up the city of Harvey for no reason that I would understand at all. They boarded up the front and the rear doors. So they took the boards off. I think she's home now. Okay. So yeah, as far as I know, she's doing all right. But this is something that's on our website. So the life of Amanda Smith. No, I want to view it as if like I'm viewing it. View the published site. Ah, there we go. Okay. Can you guys see that now? I'm praying for her. Oh, thank you, Foxy. That is so sweet. You need this live. That's awesome. Life of Amanda Smith. So Amanda, and I'll talk about her another time, but I just thought that this was cool, and he did a great job. So basically, she was born to slavery. She became a preacher. She was taught to read, which was rare. She became a preacher. She traveled, and she ended up in Harvey. Okay, so she oop, oop, oop. So she used the and she also has an autobiography. It's called An Autobiography: The Story of the Lord's Dealing with Mrs. Amanda Smith, the Colored Evangelist, from 1893. Okay, and you can find it, you can read it still. So she used some of the money from that and from some other donations and temperance groups. She was involved with the temperance movement to open the Amanda Smith Orphanage, an industrial home for abandoned, destitute colored children. Phew, that's a long name, but basically, the orphanage was opened in 1899 in Harvey. It was the first orphanage for African American children in the state of Illinois. The orphanage housed 5 children, went up to 33. So she got donations from colored women's clubs as well as support from philanthropists in the Chicago area. However, she struggled to maintain consistent funding, which threatened its certification by the state. The orphanage was able to receive its certifications each year because it was the only home of its kind in the state of Illinois that cared for African American orphans. The sad thing is, though, it seems like our intern who was researching it, he told me that oops, what did I do? $8,000 of fines. Oh my God, you got fines too? I'm telling you, bring your stuff tomorrow. You can speak at the press conference too. But I think it sounds like the funding was not given to the orphanage because I'm guessing the other white orphanages, or mixed orphanages were funded better. So anyway, she got ill about 1912, and she had to retire. Let's see, they changed it to the Amanda Smith Industrial School for Colored Girls, and it's let's see, it was Ada M. Waters was an advocate for social advances for African American girls during the Great Migration. However, the school struggled as well. There was an electrical fire in 1918. It was burned down. They said they were going to reopen, but it never reopened. It was also interesting because Ida B. Wells, I think she was one of the board members at one point for this school. So that was just kind of a cool little thing about Harvey history. So Amanda Berry Smith. This is what the kind of stuff I want to do in Harvey. See these cool historical plaques. Now, isn't this crazy? They have one of these in Pennsylvania, okay, where she was from, and we don't have one in Harvey, where she operated the first orphanage for Black children. So there she is. She was educated. She had learned how to read before she earned her freedom. There she is again. And she was a staunch temperance lady, in other words, like people who avoided alcohol. This is where it was located, and it burned down, and then later this was like, I think, like a radio electronics store. Used to be in Harvey, and it's right by Diana. It's in the 6th Ward. It's right by the Metro stop. This is the Metro stop right there. So I just wanted to share a little bit of something positive about Harvey. Okay. We need some positive. We have a lot of positive things here. Thank you, Grace. Meeting with Clarky, and he was falling asleep the whole time. Ah, girl, why don't you come on and share with us? You should tell something about him. But I know I promised I wouldn't keep you guys late. What did you say, Mandy? Love those things. That could be a fundraiser for the Historical Society. Oh, like what? Like how? Give me ideas, Mandy. Give me ideas. But yes, I'm open to that. You need to interview Kevin Coachman. He lives in Harvey. He's blind, but he wanted to buy property in Harvey but he was denied. You can Google more information about. Oh yeah, I know I've seen him on Facebook. I don't know if we've talked much, but yeah, that's sad. Take him to court. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, Mandy, I love it. Give me the fundraising ideas. So I think that's it, you guys. I think I covered everything. What did I say? Oh, thank you, Crook. Yes, I got your note. But yeah, I'm going to cross off my list. So we went over my video, the Chris Moore comments, Delaney. I do want to speak on Foremost Media because they should be outed too for this horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. Oh, the agenda. Yes, yes. Agenda for tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me pull that up. And I'll show you guys as well. I'll show you exactly where to find it. So if you go to Facebook, just so you know, for future. Okay, so if you go on Facebook, go to the Harvey Historical Society page. Come on, computer. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to get a new computer, I think, you guys. Oh jeez. So hoping this will last me forever. Okay, can you see this now? So go to Facebook, go to the Harvey Historical Society page. Okay. We've got a lot of members, 1.6K. I'm glad. This is one of the lovely downtown buildings. And then I will post things like we have a few petitions, for instance. You can, in the featured section, you can sign some of our petitions. But let me see here. Oh, this is pretty. I saw, I should share this with you guys too. I took pictures of this house. I was by Thornton. Oh, I went to the fashion show at Thornton the other day, which I'll also share, but not tonight. And it was great. But this is a great example of how to take care of an older house. Okay, so instead of these are the oldest homes in Harvey. They're wood frame homes. Instead of ripping off all the beautiful ornamentation, look at how they've kept it or restored it. It's so pretty. And the original wood, I'm assuming the original wood shake siding that's painted over. So beautiful. It's right by Thornton. Including the old, I don't know if they're original, but they look like they fit in, right? The wooden old-timey railings. Such a beautiful house. They did a great job. But a lot of times when flippers or when people renovate these homes, see they cover all this in aluminum or in vinyl. And that's not how these houses were meant to be. You see all the ornamentation on the windows? Now, for added insulation, I'm assuming, I think they may have original windows under there. And for added insulation, all they did was add storm windows. That's all you got to do. You don't have to replace your wood windows. Don't do it. Plastic windows are inferior. Vinyl windows are inferior. Look at all the pretty. So these old wood frame houses, they were meant to have all this beautiful ornamentation. That's how they're meant to look. I just wanted to show you that. So you don't see it too often in Harvey, unfortunately, but that is how they are meant to. That is how you would properly restore an old house like that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, there we go. So here is the posts. This was the agenda for that we were supposed to do on Thursday, but the meeting was canceled. So unfortunately, I don't know where this money's coming from. More than 300 some thousand. Oops. And no competing bids. They're going to pay Calumet City Plumbing, which is a very political plumbing company. You're going to pay them all this money to install smart meters. But where are all the other bids? And I want to see details. I want to see this on paper. The agenda doesn't count. Then Eddie V. Winters, former police chief, he's getting a fat settlement. I want to know for how much. Beautiful house. Yeah. One thing I do not want to do is divide the vote and get rid of it. Oh, I agree. Yeah, you guys need to work. I mean, you need to meet. Sorry. Great Lab, thank you for being so kind. Usually I watch and I don't speak. You guys are very welcoming. Thank you. You have a great answer. Oh, thank you, Grace. Anytime. Anytime. You know, I want people to be treated fairly as well. To catch up, I've been busy, but I'm coming back. No problem. Anytime for oh, you're saying to Grace. Okay. Yeah, Grace, I'll have to check out your channel too. I have not I don't have as much time to keep up as I'd like, but so that's the agenda for tomorrow, guys. And then otherwise it's just I'm sorry, the agenda from Thursday, which I'm assuming he's going to cover tomorrow. And then the sorry, let me just go to my posts. It'll be faster, I think. Or you know what, even Colby, we could just search for Colby's posts. I think she shared it. It's mostly it is mostly departmental reports. Okay, so tomorrow's agenda. If you want to make public comment, remember the press conference is at 6. If you want to make public comment, you must sign up before the meeting starts. All dramatic reports, then public comment, then the departmental reports where they're going to tell us absolutely nothing and or lie to us about how the city's being run. Then mayoral comment, because the mayor is a big toddler and always has to have the last word, and then adjournment. Okay. Clarky Boy knew he was wrong to fire. Yep, exactly. Yep. Eddie Winters. My son went there. It's a week. Oh, yeah. Yep. If you went there and then East goes there, y'all keep working on your channel. I totally understand. It's hard work. It is. Yeah, I think that's it, everybody. Unless anybody wants to come on and say something or say hello or whatever, but I shouldn't even tempt you guys, right? I know I told you I wouldn't keep you up late. Who did I say to come on? Who was funny? The funny story to share. Oh yeah, I wanted Shay to come on and tell us what the meeting with the mayor was like. But should I? Yeah. So if nobody else has anything to add, should I end? I'll end with something juicy. Okay. How about this? So remember, if you can forward the information, come out tomorrow at 6. I'm gonna speak about it's Pride Month. Let's support the gays, but most importantly, let's speak out against bullying, because we have a lot of bullying going on, not just of the LGBT community. Oh, that's what I want to do, Amanda. I knew I forgot something. I wanted to share. I'm sorry. One more thing. I lied. Because Mandy was so kind as to look up some things for me. Exactly. Thank you, Foxy. Yes, I know I need the encouragement and the support. It definitely means a lot. Okay, so Mandy found this for us. I wanted to share this with you guys. Since the theme for tomorrow's press conference is "We will not be bullied, we will not be silenced, and speak up because your silence will not protect you," okay? Let's look at something about adult bullying. Survey finds 31% of Americans have been bullied as an adult. But I thought some of these numbers were really interesting. Again, thanks to Mandy for sharing this. There was a poll. I don't know who did the poll. Oh, okay. Online survey, 2,000 U.S. adults conducted in October of what year? It doesn't say. The survey defined bullying as being subjected to repeated negative behavior intended to harm or intimidate. What's the health impact? 71%. So the poll found of those who have been bullied as an adult. Remember, they said the number was 31% of Americans. 43% said the behavior has become more accepted this past year. 71% of those bullied as an adult said they suffer from stress. Ask yourself if you experience any of these symptoms. Wait, hold on. Keep that crown straight, Foxy says. Are you recording the press conference? Yes, I will. I don't know if I'm going to go live because sometimes the reception doesn't work very well. And so I'd rather just record it and share it later. But I will record it, yes. Yes, ma'am, I got you. Yes. So let me know if you have experienced any of these symptoms of bullying. 71% suffer from stress, 70% experience anxiety, depression, 55% report a loss of confidence, 39% suffer from sleep loss, 26% have headaches, and 22% experience muscle tension or pain. I can definitely say when I was being bullied as a teacher at Thornton, for me, it was the anxiety, depression was the most. It was like, oh, I didn't want to go to work, because it makes you so anxious. 19% reported a mental breakdown. Ooh. 17% noted an inability to function day to day, i.e., calling in sick frequently. So these are just some of the things that bullying can cause. And that's why you cannot be passive. I love my family and I love all the wonderful things I learned growing up. But one thing, growing up as a good little Catholic and or Protestant Christian boy, we were always taught to turn the other cheek. Or, if someone's bothering you, just walk away, don't be confrontational. Unfortunately, as I've learned, and many of you already know, that doesn't work with bullies. You've got to stand up for yourself because if they see you as an easy target, they'll just keep coming back time and time again. Gastrointestinal changes, nausea, blood pressure, cardiovascular issues. So anyway, that was the silent treatment. 1 in 5 have had someone spread lies about them that no one refutes. See? This is interesting. What do you think? Do you think of Chris Clark when you think of this? Bullying is a coping strategy used to assert control when faced with personal limitations, whether intellectual, physical, or otherwise. A bully gains power in a relationship by reducing another's and shows little regard for the consequences to a victim's health or well-being. Yep. If you feel your power being diminished by another, it's time to question the health of the relationship. Bullies operate everywhere and can be partners, professors, colleagues, or grown children, or mayors. So anyway, thank you, Amanda, for sharing that. Vivian, yeah, I was gonna say exactly. If I don't go live, I'm sure someone will. That's what has been happening on these YouTube streams. But yes, that's what is all the drama with Conscious has been talking about it a lot, and other YouTubers. I mean, I'm like, what in the world? That's the definition of Clark. Flip Chicago Red will be there. Yes, they will. They will be there. Which I don't agree with Flip Chicago Red on everything, to be clear. I know they were protesting a drag story hour at the Beverly Library. And I have no problem with drag queens, so we don't agree on all issues, but I do appreciate that they will stand up to corruption. No more bullying. I agree. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's the AI thing, but it's probably true. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, and I want to, since Harvey, oops, sorry, did somebody message me something? No. Okay. Um, okay, sorry, that's not the one I wanted. Sorry. Okay, I don't think that's what I wanted. Too much information. No, no, no. I'll have to work out, and I can do another live on this. It doesn't have to be tonight, but I wanted to at least find a few initial. Oh, this might be good. Human Rights Campaign. So what I just wanted to mention that since okay, let's see, what did you guys say? I'm on my phone. How can I do it? Oh yeah, you definitely could. Haha, they've changed how you can record because of Brian. You have to go to the back of the room. Right, exactly, because Clark got so pissed. He's such a big baby. He got so pissed that me and others, but especially me, like I was videoing and ooh, yeah, he did not like that. I'm glad you went to M a night owl. Oh, good. I'm glad. I try not to stay up too late. Foxy, you're a bad influence though. If I, oh God, if I talk to you, I'd stay up all night, never sleep. Um, so, since Harvey is a mostly Pride Festival in front of City Hall, yeah, baby. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think should I have the conference in front of City Hall or behind it? I was like, I feel like we might attract more people that come to go actually into City Pine Park, but maybe for visibility, it'd be better to have. I got a plan that I'm gonna show up early tomorrow. This is very interesting. Okay, so I'm not going to go over all this tonight, but since this is Pride Month, oh wait, hold on. Sorry, hold on one second. In front of City Hall, I would think in front. Okay. Because you noticed Colby did hers like sort of in the back, but then I don't know. See, and then it gets kind of difficult. But you're right. We should make it a fun Pride thing. It already says in the press release in the flyer to wear your rainbow colors, but you know what? Let's make it a celebration because we're not we're not sad about this. This is our city. We have to take it back. It's our Southland, right? The residents have to take it back from these horrible politicians. But since Harvey is majority black, I wanted to share, and it's Pride Month, I wanted to share some figures about some statistics. Okay, this is from the Human Rights Campaign, which they focus on gay rights. Oops. So this is a report that they did on the let's see. They released a report in partnership with the University of Connecticut. Data collected from nearly 1,200 Black LGBTQ plus youth ages 13 to 17 from across the country. Okay. So let us look and see some of the key findings. So can you guys see okay? Especially because this is something that often I feel is ignored in the Black community, and it really bugs me. It's like gays don't exist. But we're everywhere, and we're your friends, we're your relatives, we're your neighbors. Why aren't they more visible in places like Harvey and other places in the South End? Well, you see how I get treated? That's probably why, right? But we shouldn't have to move to the north side to be able to be welcome and celebrated. So, 80.9% of Black LGBT youth and 83.5% of Black gender expansive youth say they've experienced homophobia or transphobia in the Black community. So it's pretty high. Almost 75% of Black LGBT youth and 78% of Black transgender and gender expansive youth have experienced racism in the LGBT community. I can say because I lived on the north side, and a lot of times people were not very nice. And then Black people would LGBT, particularly youth, would come. And I understand, like, sometimes it's different music, different styles. People might clash culturally, but it was a lot of times it was just not very, attitudes were not very nice all the time. It was like you'd hear comments of like, well, why don't they just go back to where they're from? Why do they have to come up here? Well, in large part, it's because a lot of times the Black LGBT folks that were coming to Lakeview, they didn't really have much to do in their neighborhoods. So, I mean, it was just not very healthy attitudes. Religion, faith, and spirituality. 63.1% of those raised in a religion said their religion is unfriendly to LGBTQ plus people. More than half said their religious beliefs triggered feelings of guilt and shame when they came out. So again, this is focusing on the Black LGBT youth community. That's what this survey was done. Mental health. 53.3% of the youth screened positive for depression. So it's more than half. It's not good. 46.5% wanted therapy but could not receive it. So remember, we're talking Black LGBT youth, okay? Their futures, 33, about a third of them, want to attend an HBCU because they believe they will be more supported there. Only a little bit more than half feel like they'll be able to be their authentic selves when applying for jobs in the future. Aw. That's sad. I wanted to see if... Oh, oops, wait, I forgot. This is the one that was a little more in depth. Oh, yeah, this is a lot more in depth. I'm so sorry. I shared the wrong thing. Remove. Share. Yes. Okay. There we go. Okay, there. Yeah, this one has more detail to it. Okay, so we said about three quarters of Black LGBT youth have experienced racism in the LGBT community. So just because you're gay does not mean that you accept everybody, right? So that's an issue we have to work on this Pride Month. About 60 to 65% of Black LGBT youth say they are not able to trust white LGBT people. So that's sad. Most Black LGBT youth say they've experienced anti-LGBT bigotry in the Black community, while half say they do not feel accepted by other Black people because of their LGBT identity. Sorry, I don't always say all the letters because it is just a mouthful. I'm not trying to offend anybody. Live, I will see you all tomorrow night. Good night. Good night, good night, good night. I thought you wanted to come on and tell us about your encounter with the mayor. It's okay. You don't have to do it tonight. Wow, look at this. This is really sad, you guys. 80% have experienced homophobia or transphobia in the Black community. So 80% of our LGBT Black youth basically say that they feel, at some point, they felt unwelcome or hated in the Black community. 54% and 57%, okay, do not. So about 50-some% of LGBT youth do not feel accepted by other Black people because of their LGBT identity. That's really bad. Like, that's not okay. More than 8 out of 10 are out to at least some of their immediate family. That's good. That's more than I would think, at least in that survey. But also, more than half have experienced some form of rejection by their parents. 58.6. 56.5 had said that they have felt supported. I'm glad to hear about that. 96.9% were out to their friends, but only 57.9 were out to their teachers or school staff. Good night, Shay. This is where I get really worried. Okay, a significant percentage of Black LGBT youth report they do not feel safe at school. Many, it looks like about half, feel unsafe in at least one setting at school. And I'm sure because I was a gay teacher and I was white and I didn't feel safe. Over half, including reported being physically or verbally harassed at school in the past 30 days. That's not good. Let's talk about churches and Black youth and gays. Oh boy. 63% said their religion was unfriendly to gays. More than half said that their beliefs caused them feelings of guilt and shame when they came out. And only a quarter said their faith community leaders support and include them as LGBTQ people. Wow. So just as a reminder, we have a lot of progress to make. And that's something that I'll try to bring up tomorrow. Because I don't hear a lot of people, at least in the South End, in the Black community, talking about the importance of accepting and welcoming our LGBT youth. Yeah, isn't it? It's sad, Roxy. Right. It's sad. So I'll do another live on that. We'll talk more about it. But for now, everybody, you have a wonderful night, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, Boxy. No apologies. Shay, Crook, anybody I forgot, thank you for coming. You are much appreciated.